One of the trickier characters to play in Overwatch is Zarya. She's a tank, but how does she function exactly, and what's the best way to play as the crushin' Russian? Mike Mahardy, I took your joke there. It's Chris Waters stealing jokes, but I'll give you some tips in return. Let's talk about Zarya, Mike.
Yeah, I want that joke back. But also, Zarya is a really fun character to play if you really can understand how her systems work together. I'm not even entirely sure I do know how yet, but I've been playing her a lot, and they're pretty complicated.
Well, there's a high skill ceiling, but what we're doing here in these Overwatch hero guides is giving you the basics. So here are the basics. Zarya has this particle cannon, and it has two firing ranges, or modes. One of them is this short-range plasma cannon beam thing, and the other is shooting grenades. Those are pretty self-explanatory, yeah?
Yeah, one's a little bit longer range if you can figure out the arc on the grenade. The other one's pretty short range, actually. It's about like 10 feet or whatever that converts to in the game, but you really want to be up close before you use the laser, and you want to try to be accurate because it's a very precise thing.
Yeah, if you're chasing someone around or if you're up close to another tank, then you turn on the beam, but mostly you're going to be slinging out those grenades. They do a little bit of area damage, and they're great for, you know, parrying turrets at a distance, maybe getting a sniper off her perch. But they also, because of the splash damage, anytime you see an enemy in group, that's what you want to use. Now, the key parts of this particle cannon and the key to playing Zarya as a whole is her barrier system.
So Zarya can shield herself and her teammates, and that's really critical because the more damage those shields absorb, the higher damage her attacks are going to do. So you want to constantly be protecting her teammates, but you also want to constantly be throwing the shields up around herself too.
Absolutely, and it helps me to think of it, you know, it's a shield, yes, and it will save you from some damage and it will save your teammates, but it doesn't last very long, so you can't support a push on these shields. If someone's focusing down on you, it's only going to absorb a little bit of damage. So I think a good way as a beginner to think of it is these are sponges. What these do is soak up damage the enemies are doing to you and your teammate, and you see that transferred into the power of your weapon. And there are two ways to see that visually represented on screen.
So yeah, there's going to be a number right underneath your reticle, and that's pretty much the most obvious one, but there is a cooler one in the actual visual vocabulary of the game. The floating orb on her Tesla cannon right above the butt of the gun will start to get bigger. So when it starts to be this pulsating sphere, that's when you really want to unleash on your enemies.
You'll also see the beam and the grenades that you shoot out getting more and more powerful, this more raw energy in there, and it looks cool, but don't get too cocky because Zarya still needs to be a little bit careful, you know, in terms of getting overwhelmed by the enemy team.
And that's the thing, you want to be around your teammates because the more teammates there are around you, the more people there are to shield and the more people there are to, you know, sponge that damage. And she's really good at shielding healers because they themselves are pretty vulnerable, so you want to shield them, and that keeps them mobile and keeps them healing you. And also shield people like Tracer and McCree who might go off and skirmish by themselves right before they round a corner. Give them a little buff to like kind of help them out.
And also give yourself a little bit of extra energy. And your projected barrier, the one you put onto your allies, replenishes more quickly than your own personal barrier, so you get in the habit of using that very, very often. All right, now let's talk about Zarya's ultimate, one of the most powerful ultimates in the game, the GRAVITON Surge.
The GRAVITON Surge is awesome. Essentially, I like to think of it as this choke point creator. If the other enemy team is within distance of each other or kind of within this one room or, you know, ideally in an objective point, that's where they're going to group up, shoot this mini black hole, it looks like, into the group, and it sucks them all in. They're not going to be defenseless, but they're going to be clumped up. It's perfect for your teammate playing Pharah to just start launching rockets in. It's perfect for Junkrat to start lobbing grenades in. It's perfect for Hanzo to fire his dragons into there and kill all of them in one hit.
It's like the most comboable ult, one of them in the game, and as a result, it takes a long time to charge. So this is the one that you want to communicate with your teammates, use those emotes, my ultimate is ready, so that they can be queued up. But yeah, again, though it does do some damage when it pulls them in, they can still fire, and they can still shoot you, and you can bet they're going to be mad at you for putting them all in this pile together, so just be ready to take some damage while you're dishing it out.
Yeah, Zarya is a great character, both offensively, defensively, for her teammates and for herself, damage and absorbing. She's a really great all-around character, and she's one of the reasons I love this game because it's so nuanced in so many ways.
So there you have it, folks. Get out there, absorb some damage, and deal some damage of your own as Zarya. For more Overwatch hero guides, keep it tuned to GameSpot, subscribe to our channel, and happy Overwatching.